Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Friday, and it's that time in the week where we have a Y4SD session. I see all of your faces out there, and I'm glad that you're able to join us. Of course, as always, as people say on the Zoom, if you can use your video, it's more enjoyable. But hey, even your name or a photo and your voice is a welcome thing. My name is Mark Fonseca Rendeiro. I'm your MC and your air traffic controller today, making sure that all the planes land safely. I don't really know what planes have to do with us, but there we are. These sessions, as you know, we like to bring people from all over the world together, and I want to make sure I mention the organizing partners: Connecting Dreams Foundation, the Global Network for Sustainable Development, and of course the MasterPeace Foundation. Oh, and Helping Hand International. We work together to bring you these sessions, to bring you the conversations, the experts, the panelists. So thanks so much for joining us today. I like to rattle off a list of thank yous because, you know, it's collaborating together that makes this possible. And every now and then it's nice to give people credit where credit is due. So first of all, the core team of Y4SD, Art Boss, who couldn't join us today, I believe, although I haven't looked through every box, Dr. Amit Tuteja, Dr. Sapna Narula, Maria Zacarias, Dr. Simi Mishra, Dr. Ashima Mathur, Ketki Mathur, Priya Gul, Dhruv Panchal, Valentine Perrin, Vasu, and Vibhav. You all have helped put this session or these sessions together, and for that reason I say thank you. And you probably deserve much more than just my thank you. Maybe some streamers and music. We'll work on that for next time. I'll put it up in the corner, and then it'll be a celebration. Quick introduction of these sessions. I mean, we're here. The idea for Y4SD is to provide a platform for young people globally to present thoughts, projects, ideas on how to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. We organize these things every 2 weeks, so maybe some of you have joined before. Raise your hand if it's your first time at a Y4SD. You can raise your virtual hand or your physical hand. I'm looking. Okay, all right. A lot of virtual hands. Yeah, so if it's your first time, welcome. I think you get the idea, at least initially. The way we function is we will have panelists presenting based on both experiences and projects that they're working on. And we also have the honor of having an expert with us, and our expert will check in throughout the session to ask questions and sort of discuss a little bit. No pressure to our expert, but it's always a little bit of back and forth. And today we have the great honor of having Bukola Owokodu from the Damsy Foundation. Bukola, I think you're out there. I saw you. Hello and good afternoon. Well, yeah, I think that time still kind of works out. Good middle of the day. I lost her. I know she's in here somewhere. It's the magic of the... Oh, there you are. I see you. So we'll be hearing from Bukola as we go. I also want to mention today our panelists, Manal Banana, Shreya Kushwaha, and Raisa Azad. We'll be hearing from each of them as we go, and then check in after each presentation with thoughts or questions. And also, of course, in the chat, you can leave your comments either about my tie or maybe more appropriately about what the panelists are discussing and maybe questions related to your own experience or simply things that you want to ask. So you're welcome to chime in the form of text. That's probably the best for now. Yeah, so without further ado, I'll see if our first panelist is out there. Am I having technical difficulties? I'm wondering. Let's see.
Yes, Team SRCC is here. We can call them on.
Okay. So, Shreya, maybe I can get you in person if your video is also connected.
Yeah, it's connected.
Oh, great. Okay. All right, I'll get out of the way, but by all means, very glad to have you here, and the floor is yours.
Okay, so shall I start?
Yes, please.
Yes, Raisa, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready, Shreya.
Okay.
Good evening to one and all present. I am Raisa Azad. Am I not audible?
Yes, Raisa, you're audible to us.
Yep.
Shreya, can you hear us?
Yeah, you all. We hear you all, so all good.
Shreya?
Yes, Raisa, you're audible.
Okay, Shreya, you're ready, right?
Right. Ready. Start.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. I'm Raisa Azad.
And I'm Shreya Kushwaha, and we are here to present Team SN by Team Arpan under CDF SRCC.
Imagine a country where with every breath you take, your life expectancy reduces by 2.6 years.
A country which loses 18% of its marine life every year to flooded waste.
A country where merely 26% of the specially able people get an opportunity to work and earn their livelihood.
You don't need to imagine this. All you need to do is look around and realize that this is our country, our incredible India.
Today, we are here to talk about our product, which is based around something as basic as a flower. But don't be fooled. It turns out that this so-called basic flower is not so basic after all. It's been an irreplaceable item since time immemorial. Seriously, think about it. From being used for religious prayers to being gifted to a loved one. We are congratulated and welcomed with a garland, and these same flowers are the ones which are laid over our dead beds.
वैसे तो हम फूलों की बहुत कदर करते हैं, हर खुशी हर त्योहार में इन्हें शामिल करते हैं, पर सिर्फ तब तक जब वो खिले रहते हैं। उसके बाद या तो वो पैरों के नीचे कुचल दिए जाते हैं या नदियों में बहा दिए जाते हैं।
In order to solve the problem of water pollution and keep the purity of rivers intact, we came up with Ascent. Ascent by Arpan aims to revolutionize the practice of discarding the temple flowers in the water bodies through the collection of these flowers and production of flower-based incense sticks.
We have not inherited the earth from our ancestors, simply borrowed it from our children. Keeping this spirit in our minds, we, Team Arpan, bring to you Ascent, a chain of premium flower-based incense products, with a vision to connect dreams to action, to empower the underprivileged, and to save the planet.
We are a family of change makers.
We are a revolution. We are Project Arpan.
The problems that our products address lie deep-rooted in societal norms and practices. Although our Indian Constitution guarantees each one of its citizens the right to equality, this does not extend to accommodate the employment disparity faced by the specially abled and the women of the marginalized sections of the society. According to the Population Census 2011, people with disabilities account for about 15% of our total population. However, only 26% constitute the working population. Interestingly, when it comes to marginal workers, women outnumber men in sheer quantitative analysis. But on the flip side, men outshine women in terms of wages earned. For example, in the BD industry, females constitute the majority of the workforce but earn about 7,000 to 8,000 INRs lesser than their male counterparts on an annual basis. The extent of social stratification that they face since birth then expands to include graver issues like income inequality and gender discrimination. As per the Niti Aayog report 2019, India ranks 120 out of the 122 countries in Water Quality Index. Every year, about 80 lakh metric tons of flowers are disposed into the Ganges, which are therefore accountable for 16% of India's total water pollution. At present, we remain blissfully unaware of the fact that normal incense products cause pollution with emissions small enough to penetrate into our lungs, therefore putting us at a risk of developing lung cancer.
How we address the problem. At Arpan, our mission is to disrupt this massive waste stream by using flower waste as a primary aromatic and eco-friendly ingredient in our products. Ascent reuses 60% of flower waste for producing the hand-rolled incense sticks, which are available in 6 divine fragrances: rose, lily, lavender, jasmine, lovan, and lemongrass. Along with this, our products are 100% charcoal-free, which addresses the air pollution caused by burning of normal incense sticks, cones, or candles. We have replaced the DPG with DEP as a solvent. Moreover, we have 3-layered organic packaging, that is, recycled butter paper, cotton pouches, and gold leaf cardboard boxes, making the product eco-friendly. Under Ascent, we employ women from marginalized sections of the society, and especially able people who have otherwise not been given equal employment opportunities. We believe that true empowerment is achievable through financial independence and strive to do our fair share in bridging the gap.
जब से हम यहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं, वो भी सोच रही है, उसको साथ साथ हम कमा रहे हैं, खा रहे हैं.
Thus, our initiative tackles SDG 11 that includes social justice and equality of economic opportunities, thereby extending the commercial purview to include people, planet, and purity.
It is said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Team Arpan found its way to Mathura and Vrindavan to survey temples and estimate the magnitude of flower waste generation. Having taken our first step in October 2019 with a small workshop, tiny citron roller, today we have products ranging from sticks to scented candles and cones. With on-ground research, one-on-one interactions, and collaborations with NGOs, we identified our change makers who are our user group. We empowered whole specially abled women and rural people who were selected on the basis of need matrix and skill mapping, and started with the manufacturing of our product. Our stakeholders include the user community, Prabhat NGO, which supplies the raw materials, and the Transport Corporation, which ensures the timely delivery of goods. Here's a video of one of our change makers.
हमने अगरबत्तियाँ बनाई, 2 बत्ती बनाई आप सबके लिए, क्योंकि खुशहाली का दिन आया है, दीपावली है, और इसमें अगरबत्ती धूप बत्ती जलाना बहुत अच्छा होता है, क्योंकि लक्ष्मी आती है घर में. मेरी तरफ से और ये एसेंट की तरफ से शुभ दीपावली.
The manufacturing process of incense sticks commences with the collection of flower waste from the temples by the members of Prabhat NGO, which includes rural women. Thereafter, our user group carefully segregates it and puts it out to solar dry. After this, the dried flowers are converted into fine powder by specially abled people. This is then followed by manufacturing process is used for obtaining the paste.
After making the paste, the sticks are hand rolled by specially able people and rural women with a lot of love and care, thus empowering them and reducing the persistent inequalities in our society. We have employed women from an urban slum who are responsible for packaging of hand rolled sticks. They are wrapped in butter paper to keep the natural fragrances of the incense sticks intact. These are then placed in organic cotton pouches, which are stitched by specially able people. This finally goes into attractive cardboard boxes, which can be reused for multiple purposes. The 3-layered eco-friendly packaging is our step forward in protecting Mother Nature. In order to make our project sustainable, we plan on moving into in-house production in the future. We are proud to say that our change makers have recycled more than 500 kgs of floral waste, impacted more than 5,000 lives, and have empowered our user group, which consists of specially able and rural women, by increasing their income by 150%. Thus, Ascent by Urban provides an innovative solution through producing premium eco-friendly flower-based incense sticks, fulfilling various SDGs. 1, 3, 5, 6, 10, 11, and 13.
We believe vision without action is merely a dream, and vision with action can change the world. And hence, we present to you our way forward.
Empowering specially able, simultaneously providing employment opportunities and increasing their incomes.
Exploiting the business acumen to the maximum extent by diversifying product portfolios.
Stabilizing the existing demand supply chain and venturing into export markets.
And thus connecting all of them to create a revolutionary impact in the world.
We envision.
We connect.
We empower. We are Project Urban. We are CDF SRCC.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Also, I enjoyed the way you both work together on the presentation. I don't think I've given a presentation where I would pronounce things at the same time as my colleague. I liked it. I want to open this up. First of all, if I can bring in... I hear echoes of my ancestors, but it's okay because they're on my side. I want to bring in, if I can, Bukola, just to any initial thoughts. And first of all, I didn't get to welcome you before, so welcome, Bukola. I don't know if the audio is cooperating with you. You can let me know or let us know. And in the meantime, as I said earlier, in the chat, you can leave comments or questions on this presentation. I think Bukola may be having issues just sound-wise with the echo. We all know how that is. Ah, there you are. The mute is on. That's the only thing missing, and I think then we're in business. Hello. In the meantime, in the chat, a number of people are chiming in with congratulations and a good job on the presentation. So yeah, Bukola, when the audio maybe gets resolved, I don't know, have a look and we can come back to you. In the meantime, Manal Banana of Helping Hand International, you're out there. By all means, come on in, and then we'll bring back the panelists at the end. How about that?
Okay, so shall I?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
I'll just check. I'll just check one more time.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I do hear you. Yes, yes. Okay. Manal, here, I'm going to direct traffic. Manal, we'll be right back to you.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we'll check in with Bukola, who we're very glad to have with us. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good
Glad,
evening.
yeah. Were you able to follow this first presentation and very curious, any initial reactions or comments?
Yeah, Project ARPAN, if I'm correct. It's an amazing initiative. Well done, well done. I enjoyed the presentation. I do enjoy the presentation. It's an amazing initiative. Well, the question I have, I can go ahead with my question for them, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, they've talked about how to sustain the project, the project. Now, when they are empowering women, do they give them the products for free, or they give them the products they sell and then they bring some certain amount of money, then they reproduce? How do they go about that? Do they give them for free, or the women sell, empower them, they sell the products, then bring some money, then reproduce? I want to know how they go about that.
Yep. So Shreya, Raisa, who wants to answer this question? Or maybe you answer it together.
I think Shreya can take the first question.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so a major part of our revenue goes to the women directly and the specially able people for their empowerment. And the rest of the revenue goes in our own diversification to sustain our project. So yeah, and we have increased their incomes by 150%, as we mentioned in the PPT. So that's how we sustain it and
Okay. Okay, it's a good one, because we need to look at how to sustain it. Then you talked about in-house production. On the long run, how many years are you looking at in-house production in the future? Like how many years? 2 years time, 3 years time, 4 years time? Can you hear me?
Yes. So the question related to looking ahead, looking into the future.
Yeah, so I'd like to take the question. So according to what we have planned, if the pandemic would not have happened, then our in-house production should have started by now. But as we all know, the pandemic was something which is completely unforeseen. So that is what has delayed our in-house production. If like things be like God be willing, we'll start our in-house production by the end of this year. We're looking forward to starting our in-house production by the end of this year.
Yeah.
the research is going on.
Yes.
It's that time, right? In terms of handling the pandemic or adjusting your plan and your actions in the context of the global pandemic. Every organization is still doing that, despite the fact that we've been with this for some months now.
Okay, so to our panelists, I want to ask, what motivates you to do what you are doing? Are you still in school? What's your motivation? What's motivating you to do what you're doing? Are you still in school?
We are both college students. We are first-year college students as of now. And I think what motivates us is this feeling within us to make a change. Because we all talk a great deal about how we just play the blame game, right? Like this happens because people are not acting. So why should we not be the ones to act and make the change? I mean, I think Mahatma Gandhi said it best, be the change that you wish to see in the world. So that is what motivates us.
And also seeing the smiling faces of our change makers motivates us.
Well done, well done. Keep it up, keep it up. Then for the exports, okay, I want to mention for the exports, can you export to Nigeria? I would definitely love to get your flowers.
That would be lovely.
Okay, we'll definitely work on that. Keep doing what you're doing. You are doing an amazing job. Well done, well done. I'm super proud of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Means a lot. Thank you.
Oh, we already have a concrete example of the international connections and collaborations that are possible from a Y4SD session. Thank you so much, Bukola. Thank you for the comments, and
You're
Shreya.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I want to call, or can you call people on Zoom? You're really just sort of pointing and dragging over. But with all respect, Manal, if you're still out there, of course you are. Hi, Manal Banana.
Yes.
Very excited to hear from you now, from Helping Hand International. Manal is with us. Hi.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I just want to mention something. Can you hear me, guys? Because I have like a problem with the internet connection.
I know how you feel. You're fine. It's working.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, today I want to talk about social justice and how it's important to us, especially if your country is providing you with all the needs, all the rights that you want and that you need. And today I would like to talk and mention about what's happening in North Africa, and especially in my country, exactly since I'm from there and I face this problem, and I can like talk about it in more details. So I want to say that I'm from Libya, but currently like in Libya for a visit, but I study in Czech Republic, and I'm working with Helping Hand International. And I want to bring this topic, so I want to know, like I want to let people know what's happening there, because this kind of stuff, it doesn't show it in media. They only show one side. And I wanted to show people that they really struggle there and no one can hear them. So can you please go to the next slide? So yeah, today I want to talk about social justice in North Africa. If you all know, guys, that in 2011 we had a revolution in North Africa. It started with Tunisia and then Morocco. Egypt and then Libya. And people, they really wanted to have a revolution because they were for a regime that controlled them. They cannot have their rights. They cannot have a life that they want. I would start with Libya, that used to have Gaddafi for 24 years. And basically all these years we didn't have anything. We didn't have like a normal needs, like a human needs that every country they have. So the aim of that we want to have a voice, we want to have our rights, we want to have like a good education, good opportunities. We don't have to leave a country. So can you go to the next slide, please? Sorry. Yeah, so I want to ask you questions. Like now there's 4 pictures. Like what's the difference in these pictures that you see right now in front of you? What's the difference? Like both of them, like they started a revolution at the same time, but they started in a different way. So I want to explain like how the revolution, it's different from countries to countries in North Africa because of the education system that they had. So basically the first 2 pictures, like they were like peaceful. They really love their countries. They really want to change, but without any damage, without losing any souls. But the others, one of them is my country. It's starting with a really aggressive way, like with the guns, with killing, because the base that they had, that they learn, like they teach them that this is the way how to have your rights. They didn't teach them that you can have your rights with like a peace, without having guns, without fighting, without anything. So the pictures can tell you a lot how that social justice in country can shape you in a different way when you don't have rights, when you don't have needs. It tells a lot how individual to react. Can you go to the next slide, please? So now I want to talk about education. This one of the pictures of school in my country, like Libya. And I always believe like education, it's not only like important for us to learn, understand our world. It's also understand to know how his world is working outside of our country, which you express, you see like another environment, because based on that, it shape you. Since if you are like a child, if you don't have like a good education, if they don't have like a good environment, you cannot like shape yourself the way you want. So I see it like education and social justice, it's one of the important thing in our life. And it's also like it teach you like the difference and between like for example nationalities. I would start with myself. When I was in school, we were always like, they told you, no, you're not Libyan, you cannot be like us. Imagine this has happened when we were in school, which I see it's really bad now when I'm thinking about it. As a child, I used to have this kind of stuff with other like classmates, how they were feeling that time when they were children. And also like gender, we were like, you could see the difference between female and male that time. Like we cannot even sit together. Imagine in school, we were like in grade 1, grade 2, that we don't even know what does that mean. Can you go to next slide, please? So yeah, and I always see like education and employment, it's something always connect together, because once you have a good education, it means you have like a great opportunities in the future. Because when you're not having a job, for example, you will have like so many problems like in this moment, because we don't have like much opportunities to be able to work and do whatever they want. They're facing so many problems which no one can talk about. Which of them? Divorce. Like here basically I will talk about Libya. When we get married really in early age, like around 16, 17, 18, and we always want more. And since we don't have like that opportunities, like people, they cannot have money, they cannot provide their partners with everything, so it end up with divorce. And some of them, they have like some drugs to go to another reality, which they don't want to face the reality that they're living in. And I always see like when you have a good education, it means you have like a good future, like it gives you like a positive effect. But when you don't have like a good base, it ends up with a really bad side. Can you go to the next slide, please? So here I would talk about the real problem that we face in education. For example, poor quality education system. So basically, since you're like a child, you only have the same things you're studying till university. It doesn't change. Basically, you study the same books, just in a different times. Like for example, when I was in high school, I didn't study chemistry, I didn't study mathematics, I didn't study biology. I only studied elementary school. That's it. So when you don't have like a good base in education, and for example, you planning to study abroad, like you want to study in a different university, you will have a problem that you will face it, that you cannot have like a good base, and you will struggle and you end up failing if you don't try hard. Also, we will come to the language. We don't study any language. We all study in Arabic. And once you go to the high school, you just have an English, which it's really basic. It's not even a good one that you can like communicate when foreigners come to your country or when you travel. And the second point, it's centralization. Basically, we have only 2 main universities. That's it. So people who doesn't live in the capital, which is Tripoli, and the second capital, which is Benghazi, they cannot have like a university degree. They have to travel, or they have to move to Tripoli or the second capital, sorry. So they can study university. Otherwise, they will end up just with the high school degree, and that's it. Because most of people, they cannot have an access to go to the city, biggest city. So sometimes they have to send their kids and they have to buy them a house or rent, because basically we don't have dorms at universities here, which is one of the main problems, that small cities, they really struggling with the education, that they cannot have university degrees. Until this moment, no one can do something with it. They ignore it. They don't even want to talk about it or trying to figure out, help them out, because no one can hear their voices, you know. And the fourth, it's inequality. Like for example, as a woman, I cannot study engineering, because they say that engineering only for guys. Girls, they cannot study this kind of majors. So since you're a child, even if you have a dream, for example, I want to be engineering, I cannot study it, because the society put me in a corner that I cannot study any subject or any majors I want, which I see it's really unfair because so many girls, they can do so many things like better even than guys. But since the society it's put you in this corner, you don't have any things to do because we don't have rights, we don't have social justice that we did the revolution for it. Can you go for the next slide, please? So now we'll talk about employment. This is one of the pictures in Libya, and individual basically they have their own business because since we have a revolution, we don't have companies, we don't have like opportunities for individuals. So they're trying to open their own business, and you can see as showing the pictures, it up burning because of the war. So here, the first point I want to mention that it's inequality for opportunities. For example, as I mentioned on school, that you cannot study what you want. Here we have another problem. If you study like in another country, for example, we will say that you study in London and you study to be economist, as what I'm studying right now. And you decided to go back to your country, but you went there and you find zero opportunities because basically this major doesn't exist. We don't have companies, we don't have something related to this major, which it's really unfair that you're really studying something that you want and you want to make it different in your country, but you cannot. So you end up doing something you don't want, like maybe you can teach, or maybe you can open just a small business, and after that it ends up like it burned or someone steal it from you. And social culture, I would mention right now, when it comes to women's, they cannot work whatever they want. They have only few jobs for them as a nurse, as a teacher, and as a doctor. That you don't have another option because this is the social culture. They're raised when you are a child that you are a woman, you cannot do anything else. Like even for example, if I want to be like petroleum engineering, I cannot go to field. And also I would say no one can hire you. No one will hire. They will like no, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. Because this is the base when we had since we are children, like the social culture that you have to follow, even though it's wrong, but you have just to follow because no one believe in it. And the last one, I would say that it's based on connections. If you have a power, you can have the job that you want, even if you are not even qualified for this job. But once you have like a power, you can get anywhere. For example, if there's two people, one he has like a really good degree and he's qualified for this job, but other person, he's not even qualified, he doesn't have a degree, but once he has a power, he can have it, which it's really unfair. Until this moment we have it, and we try to have a solution for this problem, but it's really hard because no one work on it, and people just starting give up about social justice and making a difference, because now it's marked 10 years since we have a revolution, and we keep asking about basic needs, like the really small things that everywhere they can have it, but no one listened to them. Like the government, basically it's unstable right now, which it doesn't give attention to people what they need. They're only trying to make a country stable because we don't have safety in this moment, which it's a really sad, because I'm really worried about the new generation that is still having this kind of life, this kind of education. I can see the same mistake, it just goes over and over, and no one wants to make a change, no one's make it different. Even now, this organization we having here, they don't focus about this kind of points. We focus only about refugees and people they lost their houses, but they forget the main problem, which people that the new generation, they don't have a good education. We don't even have a good school, like good environment where you can study something you want. So this is the things that I always want to mention about my country, because so many people, they don't know what's really exactly happened in Libya and in North Africa. We only see what's happening in news, which will only show that they show the people that we only have war and we having guns and that's it. But they never show us that the real problem, that people they struggle and they don't have like how to change it, because nothing in their hands. So yeah, this is like today what I want to talk about social justice when it comes to education and employment, and how important it is and how important to us and shape us in the future. Because once you have a good base, you know how this country it will grow so fast, it will develop, it will be people that will be open-minded, and they will be open and they know what it's really social justice. So yeah, next slide. I guess I finished. And yeah, thank you for attention. And any question, guys? I try to make it short and simple, because if you're going to go to details, really I need the hours to talk about it.
Great. Thank you, Manal. Thank you. Really, you know, there are details in what you're describing, I feel, and also there is a lot also in your voice in terms of experience and knowledge and closeness. So thank you very much. In a moment, I'll switch to Bukola, but I did want to ask one thing. I don't usually do that, but I could do that. And that is there any initiative, large or small, that you know of that gives you hope, something that you think you could build on this and it would make quite a difference when it comes to social justice and opportunities?
Yeah. To be honest, now I came here for a visit to Libya, and I tried to see, like, I really need to have even like one hope, because it's really sad. I don't want to what happened to me happen to other people. But I see like the new generation, they're trying to make a change, which it really makes me like having some hope that they realize that what they're having, it's not right. It's not like a normal life. But at the same time, I see that there's no one making any actions because they're afraid. You know, the other things that I didn't mention, like in the presentation, that we don't have the safety here. If you're talking about your rights or something, you will get kidnapped. That's easy, you know. So I really want to have this hope that this new generation, they can make it different. Even my generation, I would say that's why I always want to have my voice and talk about what's happening, so people that realize that we really have like problem, which it's really deep, you know. We really need like real help to make a difference about it.
Okay, Manal, thank you again. Bukola, I'll invite you here on, especially on this particular topic. Any thoughts or comments or even questions, by all means.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done, Manal, right? I hope I got the name correctly. Well done. Well done, well done, well done. Yeah, I think she focused on education and empowerment, which is very, very key to economic development. It is very, very key. It's a foundation for development. It's also the groundwork for which much of our economic and social well-being is built. When you empower the nation will definitely develop. And then some things she mentioned, we are also facing that in Nigeria. So I'm going to be talking about what we also faced here in Nigeria. And then I think, I feel we should have more people, more change makers in Libya to stand up for the people, because from what she said, the people are really suffering there. They are really suffering. So if we can get more change makers to advocate for this change, it will definitely go a long way. I don't mind partnering with you. I don't mind partnering with people in Libya to create the change that we really desire in Libya. Yeah. So to my question, how long will you be staying in Libya, and what are your plans? Have you in any way engaged stakeholders in Libya?
Sorry,
on this issue?
It's a question of have you engaged stakeholders in Libya on these types of issues?
Actually, it's hard because, even if I want to talk here, since I don't live in Libya, I came here for a visit to see my family. They will tell you, you cannot talk about these kind of rights which you don't live here. So they don't even give you a space to talk about it. And even if I want to talk, they tell you, no, we live in a normal life. You just like imagining. This is the sad things that I really want to make people open their eyes, that that's not normal. You cannot accept this kind of life, because this is not like a normal life to live in it. Especially that I told you, I used to live in Libya for the whole of my life, but I had the chance to travel. I live my family, they give me opportunities to travel and see how other countries they live. And I struggled in the beginning since I had a really bad education, and I struggle a lot. And I don't want people to have the same problem, because not everyone can be strong enough and continue studying. They will give up. And I know so many people, they give up when they had the opportunities to study outside. They went back, they said, oh no, it's hard, it's better to stay here. And that's the thing that I really want to people, that don't give up, try to make a change. Even here in Libya, it's easier to make a change where you're staying, rather than I'm staying in Czech Republic or anywhere I can be around the world and talking, because no one would realize. They will say, she's living outside, she doesn't live in real life. So that's the problem, that I really need to open their eyes about it and talk about it and consider it really serious.
Okay, well done. So I think you can influence your community. You can start from your community where you are. Then you start advocacy from the community where you are. You talk to them. From there, you get more people on board, and then from your household, you can start from your household. From your household, you enter your community. From your community, you enter your city. From your city, and then it will spread wide. Because I know some people might be scared or have this fear of, if I speak out, what will happen to me? And then they are oppressed in that community. They don't speak, and mostly women will definitely be affected. Most times. So what you should do is advocate more for it. Then start from your place, start from your community, and then get more people on board. You can get more change makers outside your community or outside Libya to start advocacy. We can do advocacy online too, to spread, to put the word out. From there, we'll now look at engaging the stakeholders for them to implement some policies for inclusion into the law.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I'm gonna.
So we need to. Can you hear me?
By all means, Bukola. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not a day job, but it is achievable. It is achievable. So let's talk more on that, on how to go about it. Well done.
Okay, Manal, thank you so much, and all the best to you, of course. And I want to shift now as we approach the last part of our session. Bukola, we've heard from you on the questions and the comments related to our panel, but of course now we'd love to hear your experience, and I certainly want to give you the last minutes of this session. By all means, you have the floor.
Okay. So I have 10 minutes to talk, right?
Please.
Okay, so I'm just basically going to talk about, we already know what SDG 11 is. So do I need to talk more on that, or just talk about our own interventions around SDG 11?
I think the value here is certainly the experiences of the interventions, doing the work. I think everyone would appreciate that.
Okay, that's fine. So briefly, I'm just going to talk about our interventions around SDG 11. So I won't take much of your time. So we've worked with relevant stakeholders to help people prepare for, prevent and respond to and recover from COVID-19 pandemic. We've also supported local government and communities-driven solutions. We've done community outreaches. We've done campaigns on gender-based violence, on female genital mutilations. We've done campaigns on AIDS, on HIV, on gender equality. We've done that. We are also working in making communities safe for orphans and vulnerable children to fulfill their potentials. We've done, we've cared and we are still caring for OVCs and other vulnerable groups like widows and aged. We've supported, like what Manal said on education and empowerment and employment. We've done a lot of that. We've enrolled out of school children under our scholarship scheme. We've paid school fees. We've distributed basic school essentials to children in underserved communities. We've also done nutritional support for them. We have also empowered the marginalized groups in underserved communities. We have done a lot of job empowerment. We've done free medical care services. We've also distributed relief items, and we've provided shelter for indigents. We have some indigents that their houses or their shelter were demolished. We've been able to provide a shelter for them, a decent place for them to stay. We've been able to reach out to people in the slum. We have supported them. We have supported victims. We have empowered and supported victims of gender-based violence. Basically, we've done a lot. So what we are currently doing now is we are working to build a free school, because there are some schools there in Nigeria. There are some underserved communities in Nigeria that don't have access to quality education. There are some communities that don't have school at all, so they have to trek or go a mile. They have to go far from that community before they can get to a school, or before they can see a school. So what we want to do is those communities, communities where they don't have schools, we are planning to build free schools for them. We are also working on partnering with other organizations to make this a reality. In Nigeria, it's been challenging, but we are working. We've had issues where, like what she spoke about unfair acts of policy towards favored person on group. We experienced that too in Nigeria. Some of the problems they are facing in Libya, we are also facing that in Nigeria too. But what we are doing is engaging stakeholders to implement policies for inclusion. Resource efficiency, we are on that. And what? So we are also supporting communities. We are also supporting communities for sustainable and resilient building. Now, in the next let's say 5 years, some cities. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, definitely. Did we lose Bukola? I don't think so. I think you're still there. Bukola, if you're...
Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You can hear me. Okay. So, where did I even stop? so basically, we are working on we are engaging stakeholders in implementing policies for inclusion for all. With that, we cannot create a better world and sustainable world for everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bukola. Thank you especially for sharing your experience and the really wide range of work that you're doing to address exactly what we've been talking about today, the opportunities or the fair access to opportunities, and also the concept of social justice and having it, achieving it, working towards it. So thank you very much. I see that we're approaching the end of the hour. There are a few questions in the chat, and they're very much related to the topics we've been talking about. So I think that, if you read them, you will see them, but I'm not going to bring them in right now as we're out of time. But it's very much this question of, education and the role of education in opportunities, and why that sometimes works if you can achieve that. On the other hand, why that sometimes doesn't work. Some examples coming up related to terrorism, divisiveness. This seems like another session actually of Y4SD in terms of communication and the society over time. Child labor also being mentioned. All very good topics. I want to acknowledge them, but I'm not going to bring them to this session because we're winding down. There was also the SDG quiz. Some of you might have switched over and taken that, so thank you to all of you. I want to make sure to acknowledge all the panelists today: Shreya, Raisa, Manal, thank you so much. And of course, Bukola, thank you so much for being here, and also the comments and the questions throughout. Much appreciated. I will also bring up that in 2 weeks' time, we have another session, Y4SD, same channel, same time. That's convenient. And we'll be together again March 12th. And that's the next phase of women's rights as we approach International Women's Day. It's not March 12th. It's a few days before, but still we'll be together again. We'll be so glad to see you. And on behalf of the entire Y4SD team, thanks for joining us. See you again next time. Bye.
We are done?
We are.
Oh, really? Okay.
But thank you.
All right. So our panelists, bye.
Exactly, yeah. Thanks,
Yes,
everybody.
just keep being you, okay? Never give up. Keep being you. When you need help, you ask for help. You can never know too much, okay? If you need help, you ask for help, ask for support. Never give up. Have a positive mindset that you can do it. I am a change maker. I can do it. So just have it at the back of your mind. Sometimes, honestly, when you sometimes you will be discouraged, even if you have passion for what you're doing. But what should keep you going is why you are doing this, the lives you are changing, the impact that you are making. So just keep doing what you're doing. Seek help if you need, seek support if you need to, and then we'll all create a better world of inclusion for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bukola. Excellent final words.
Yeah.